I am woman, I am fearless, I am sexy, I'm divine, I'm unbeatable, I'm creative, honey, you can get in line. Well, hello, my name is Pel Motlhabani. How you guys doing? Welcome back to another roundup of your updates from the court streets. Just quickly, let me take this time to appreciate all of you. You've shown me a lot of support. I'm truly grateful. A lot of you clicked on the subscribe button. A lot of you were commenting. You pressed on the like button. I am truly grateful. If you haven't done so already, please, this is your time to click on the subscribe button, show your support for this channel, and please share the videos as well. So moving right along, we've seen the state bring in AVL expert Mr. Michael Dupre to come and weigh in on the AVL reports that Officer Mkhani has been testifying to. So it pretty much looks like what he was saying continued to affirm the story as had previously been told by the defense as to the allegations by accused number 2, right? With that glaring 5-hour excess, idle, or stop, or whatever it was, whatever technical word that they are using, that indeed happened near Engine Filling Station. Now, the one thing that will need to be validated even further, in my opinion, is that the witness, Mr. Dupre, says on the 24th, that car showed that it had stopped for 24 hours in the SEP's garage in Benoni, where they repair and maintain SEP's vehicles. You know, that will seem to slightly corroborate the breakdown story as described by Officer Mkhani. But I think that will remain to be seen. But we will need to see if indeed the car was booked in for a breakdown and what it was repaired or maintained for. It just seems a tiny bit convenient. It seems a little convenient. And the issue of being near Mali Street, near Alberton, or near the dumping site, Jesus, you know, that seems to be like an attempt to just confuse the other person. I mean, it's either you were in Alberton or you were not, or you were on Mali Street or you were not. It seems like it's unnecessary jargon. I don't even think it's jargon. It's more like confuse your opponent or confuse the enemy type of thing. I could see Nisi making all those confused faces when Mr. Dupre was trying to explain what near meant. I do wonder if Mr. Dupre's AVL report on that day when he appeared at the Pretoria court, is it going to say he was near Pretoria High Court? Yeah, it sounds very ridiculous. Well, I think the defense asking for a remapping of the same route, tracing the various locations that were alleged by the accused and the specific coordinates, it just might be onto something. But unfortunately, it might be like a nail on Baloyi's case. Yeah, for this trial within a trial. Wow, we're still within the trial within a trial, and it keeps going on and on and on. So if the trial within a trial is going on and on like this, what more do we think of the main trial? What more should we expect from the main trial when it now commences after this one? It looks like Rata is going to be here for a long time. So while Mr. Dupre took a day off the court to attend to other matters, Sergeant Mohola took to the stand. Yeah, this is the lady officer who was allegedly in the boardroom, I think, when Gininda asked accused number 2 to take off his clothes. And then accused number 2 said he refused on account of a female being in the room. So I take it that was Mohola. So she was also a part of the team that arrested accused number 1 on the 30th of May 2020. And this arrest was not for shooting Meyiwa. It seemed a bit unclear, but she kept referencing drugs. So I figured they were arresting him for dealing drugs or possession of drugs. So her testimony was very long and winding, but the long and short of it was
On this day, they had an arrest warrant for accused number 1. They went and they found him. When they found him, they started to read him his rights. Then they asked him to take them to his place of residence so they could verify it for purposes of bail application, right? Now, when they were there, they started searching his shack for his ID, and when they were searching his shack, voila, they found ammunition in a plastic bag. And apparently, the firearm was not there. He said the firearm was with a friend. So the ammunition was taken in as exhibits for the courts. Now, fast forward still on that day, the 30th of May 2020, Sergeant Mohola at some point requested for the other police officers to step aside so she could question accused number 1. So Babu Telezi and the others, they stepped aside. So after they stepped aside, Mohola was left alone in the car with accused number 1, and then proceeded to read him his rights and started questioning him about his involvement in the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa. Now, here is where the main mystery comes in. The mystery for me is after he was asked of his involvement with the shooting of Meyiwa, Mohola says as he was responding, he started to make admissions. And then in these admissions, Mohola then asked him if he'd be willing to repeat the same to his boss, Kininda. Now, at this point, I was like, This man's witch doctor, he gave him like some confession herbs, because you cannot start to confess immediately, like 2 minutes into the questioning process, and you're already making admissions. What kind of ingabi is that? I mean, I would like to believe he doesn't scare that easily to a point where you are asked one question and you immediately start making admissions. It sounded like a made-up story by Mohola. It felt like a very, very huge red flag, because it didn't quite fit in with this arrest, where we're coming in to arrest you for drug possession, and then we start questioning you about this unrelated matter about the shooting of Meyiwa, and boom, you're already making admissions. It didn't quite fit in. I do wonder exactly what these confession statements are really saying. Would they be saying, I do confirm that on this day, I was in Phosphorus, I was at the Kumalo house, I was involved in this, I did this, I did that. Or it's like a near Phosphorus type of confession, where he'll be saying, I was near the hostel, I was near this, I was near that, like these AVR reports. I would really want to know what the contents of these confessions are. I mean, for all we know, it might not even sound like a confession at all. It might even leave us confused. What did this man really say that sounded like an admission? I can't wrap my head around that. What did he say that sounded like an admission of anything? Sergeant Mohola's testimony is making it seem like this is a very amateur inkabi. Yeah, she's making it seem like he's very amateur and he's not yet very smart. I mean, you pick him from the street, and few questions later, he's ready to throw in the towel and confess and go to jail. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm in no way saying I believe that these men are innocent. I'm not saying that. But these men are known Inkabis. You can't put this crime past them. They're capable of doing that. But even the people who have been known to be guilty of crimes, they went down denying. Just look at Nomi and Clove. She went on denying, even after she was caught saying, oh, you should ban them. In the hood, the shooting is not something that is common. You should ban them. Then she denied that. She went down still denying, even after she was caught saying all those things about how to kill her own family. She went down still denying. Unless we missed a big chunk of this testimony. Otherwise, I feel like someone may have just cooked these confessions. Maybe it's that Kananda, you know. And yeah, I'm still trying to understand the witch doctor angle that Mokola kept trying to throw in there. Yeah, well, they decided to go and see the traditional healer that accused number one allegedly saw right before Meyiwa was killed. But the officer kept on insisting on calling the traditional healer a witch doctor. I mean, I don't think a witch doctor and a traditional healer have the same intentions. I don't really think they have the same intentions. The other one is healing. The other one, I don't know what he's doing. But these herbs, the ones that he got, they didn't work. They didn't work for him. Or maybe God was at play that day. He was like, not today. Not today, Ngabi. But personally, I don't really think the traditional healer statement makes or breaks this case. Even if they had not taken his statement, I don't think it would have made a difference. I don't think so. It was just a waste of time. But I really must say, waiting for Geninda to come to this witness stand, it's like waiting for a bride. Like right now, walking down the aisle very, very slowly. It's like we're waiting for a bride. At this point, it's like, Balwe, can you just cut to the point already? Cut to the chase. It's enough now with bringing the whole department to the stand. I don't think one more police officer is going to bring in a totally different direction to this testimony from the police side. I don't think anyone will bring in a different perspective at all. So we might as well wrap it up with Geninda and see where it all lands. Because I feel like with these testimonies from the police, the buck is going to end with Geninda. So let's just have him already. Well, there you go, guys. As always, let me hear from you. What do you think of this officer Mohola? To me, I think she was a bit shaky. She was very, very shaky. Maybe she was not very sure of her story, or maybe her story was just not the truth. When you are lying, you can fumble quite a lot. But when you are just speaking the truth, it's easy to just flow. But when you are trying to cook some things, it doesn't quite fall into place. Or maybe she was just scared. Who knows? I don't think anybody lives their life anticipating to ever take a stand one day and be a witness on such a case. So she might as well have been a bit scared. What do you think, guys? Let me hear from you. I'll see you again very soon. I do appreciate you very, very much. Bye-bye.